Good day, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your metal market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for the evening of Monday, the 5th of August, 2024, just after 6:20 p.m. Central Time. Well, at least we have some green on the screen. You know, today was a meltdown day. At 6:20 tonight, about 20 minutes ago, CNBC is running a special on today's meltdown in the stock market. They must not have better programming to run. I'm just of the opinion that when corrections come, that what has happened is we are so used to the market going higher and higher and higher, and I'm talking stock market, that the first correction of size, a 10% correction, has spooked the whole market. And I guess that's because people got spoiled. But corrections are normal. They're part of the cleansing process. They're part of when the market is telling you in certain markets you got too high. And that is exactly what I think happened, because every time this market got up first to 5,200, then 54, then 56, all you saw was the big banks, analysts, most, not all, most kept revising upward, where we ended up with a call for 6,000. In other words, it wasn't going to change. We saw the rotation, remember that? Where everybody was buying the Russell and the Dow and selling off the big boy stocks, the S&P and the NASDAQ. Well, now you're getting a little different game. From my perspective, and I guess I'm out here by myself, I don't view gold as having done bad at all. Yes, people that bought into a Bollinger Band top got themselves in trouble last Friday. Also, the market sold off pretty hard over the past 48 business hours of trading, full days of trading, and markets washed people out. But did the gold really lose its bullishness? I don't think so. In the copper market, if you went to the weekly charts, you fell right in on the weekly charts to support. Not a buying zone, but maybe a zone where this comes to an end. We know that copper's getting punished, and punished hard, because the biggest consumer in the world, China, is not growing the demand for it at this point in time. So the stockpiles have risen, the market's scared, you're seeing the U.S. economy hiccup finally, and that hiccup is creating problems that maybe we don't need anything. Brent down sharply today at one point, coming up tonight, but what is the trading now? This is a Tuesday trade. You ever hear of the word Tuesday reversals? They're very common. You get big moves on a Monday, you often get what's called a Tuesday reversal. And it's an attempt to reverse. It doesn't have to end that way by the close. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Maybe before we go here, we take a look at what we've got tomorrow. We have the June trade balance data, and that comes out at 7:30 in the morning. And their expected deficit at $72.5 billion, which is not as big as last month's $75.7. Red Book Group will come out with their U.S. retail sales. They have been steadily falling from when we got over 6%. Now we're around 4.8. So that's not a surprise. And at the end of the day, the API will release their member stockpiles data around 3:30 in the afternoon. In stocks, you have Caterpillar and Uber reporting tomorrow as well. Okay. So when we look at the gold market, let's understand, you're just coming off challenges on a closing basis only, on a weekly chart of all-time highs. When we take a look at this chart, the highest high the market recently got up to, and this ties with it, is in this 25-40 area. You can see where it's at there. And yes, we have sold off from there dramatically. In fact, we sold off, just to give you an idea, from Friday's high, when the market got to 25.22, to today's low of 24.03, $119 an ounce. That's a huge break any way that you want to look at it. Did it go through the prior low? It did not. And this is where you're at tonight. When we take a look at the pattern on the chart, you have a higher high and a lower low. That is not a trend. When I put the moving averages on, the battleground has been, and it's been hitting the 18-week average. If you rally tonight and get any leverage to this rally, look for 24.61, about $12 higher, to be the resistance point on it. And what has stopped the market? You made a run to the upper Bollinger Band Friday. On Monday, you went to the lower Bollinger Band. Notice how you stopped. The market also went to the 100-day average and found its support there. And momentum-wise, you had been oversold and you're sort of just drifting. This market is not giving you an answer of what's going on because it's not trending. It has a higher high and a lower low. When you look at the gold-silver ratio, well, you can certainly see how this is up to 88.24. When you and I take a look at silver, I've been saying silver is weaker than gold, and that's what this ratio is showing. As long as you're over this and the number keeps climbing, you need more and more ounces of silver to get an ounce of gold. That's what the ratio is. Well, silver has fallen down into its support. Let me come back here for us. Oops, I guess I'm going the wrong way. Let's go. I saw what I did. My mistake. You've had lower highs, lower lows. You're going to have more resistance show up because the 18-day average is about to crisscross the 100 at 28.97, adding a tone of bearishness. But let's assume tomorrow you had a big rally. That should be the resistance zone in the market, the combination of those two numbers. In the copper market, lower highs, lower lows with an embedded reading. The strongest reading I know of in technical trading is when the stochastic study embeds bearish or bullish. My course, Enhanced Bollinger Band courses, teaches this to you because it works with this embedded reading. Go to iraepstein.com. Under courses, it's there. So you are still very much in a bear trend. You could go down to 387 in the market, but on the weekly charts, the 400 level, $4 is the important number. Platinum, all it did is rally back up to the 18-day average and the 100 4 days ago. I was here with you saying that's your resistance point. Initially, I want to remove today. The support was coming in between the 200-day average and this, the 100. You see how you were working back and forth. If you give ground, and I don't know if you'll give ground or not because you're not trending, you have a higher high and lower low at this point, maybe you get back to the lower Bollinger Band, which should contain the market. So when I look at what this market did, kaboom, and you're bouncing away tonight. No surprise at all. Then in the dollar index, you have just let go under everything. You're instantly oversold. You're 2 days under. You didn't close in both days in the bottom part of the range. Had today done that, I'd call this a downside breakout. I call it a breakout of the current range maybe, but not a breakout per se that the market has to keep collapsing. But what's hurting this market? What's hurting the dollar in large part is, of course, we had the jobs data and so on. But you know, there's a carry trade that's unwinding involving the yen, where you would go in and you'd borrow in the yen because it had a zero interest rate per se, and you'd put that money to work in something that was a stronger currency, could be the dollar, and you're earning a higher interest rate and yet a stable currency. Now that's changed. The yen is soaring. First part, interest rates in the yen going up, dollar is breaking, and people that put on that trade, if they went yen dollar, got a problem. They might have gone yen something else, I don't know. But if the dollar's involved, that's part of the problems that these people are having. So, yeah, a correction is at the end of the world, not so far. Could it get worse? It certainly could. How do you keep up with it? Well, through our free offers. We wrote all day long from the Linn and Associates what this meant. If you go in and you listen to us talk on our charting software, QT Market Center, you can actually listen to our media broadcast. We give you some ideas there. You know, this charting software you see behind me, that's the Linn trading platform. You can get our futures kit that includes all this. All you do is you go in, you select the offer you want. These are the offers behind me. And at the bottom of that page, there's an area where you come in and you fill out your name, your email address, if you have a message for us, what it is. We get everything out to you typically within 48 hours or less. So how do you get it? iraepstein.com. You can also move your cursor to the top up here if you're on a PC, and what will happen is you'll see it, give it a click, it'll take you right to that area. I'm Ira. I'll catch up with you all in the morning. Have a great evening.